Hey everybody, this is my 1983 Toyota Dolphin. You can see it's a bit of a rust bucket. So I picked this up uh, locally and it was a good price. I got a good price for it. So we're going through, and I'm a little bit late here, but we're going through and we're just kind of rebuilding everything. So this is something that we've been doing for a while. And we thought that while we go through and do up some of the side portion, uh, we can get to that in a second, but we thought while we're doing some of the side portion that it might be helpful to chronicle some of this, make some videos, and maybe this can help out some other people, so we can try and make sure that we stay good to the community. So let's take a look here and see what we got going on. All right, so the 1983 Toyota Dolphin. This has already been mostly taken apart here. We have quite a bit of rust, obviously the hood. Motor's been taken out, so you can see in there, big black, nothing. This isn't even connected. We have a lot of rust going on, so motor's been removed. We're gonna be replacing the cowl up here. And that's gonna be a big job in and of itself. Luckily, we do have the old parts truck, so we'll take all the parts that we need off that. It's got, of course, a good front hood. The fascia's all right. You know, that bumper, it could use cleaned up, bang some of the dents out, paint it. And of course the cowl is in good shape. So that's what we're gonna need here. As you can see, my cowl on the rig, better days it has seen. So rust, boom, boom. You can put your fist in there. That's how big it is. It's terrible. This is the good one, the coup de grace, as it were, right there. So we're gonna have some fun there in a little bit. And yeah, so let's take a look here. Right now it's tarped up. There are some leaks. It's all taken apart, so we have it tarped up to try and save it. Gone through here already and have sealed these up, so I'm not too worried about those. Got to cut some of the butyl off there, not a big deal. But this is what we're working on currently. Have this whole side off. That's been a bear. So the whole reason we need to do this, we have some before pictures we can edit in here too, but the whole reason we need to do this is for the molding. So the molding goes, of course, all along the side. So it's going to go along the side there, down, and we just have all new wood in this top section. So we need to get this taken care of. All this wood here has been replaced. So we had to put a new piece of plywood in here and get this first joist replaced as well. So that way we can make sure that we have a good, decent portion of wood to attach into. So unfortunately, when we got all this siding off, we realized there's a lot of rot back here. The whole entire area here has been removed. So it's all stuff that's going to have to be replaced. We'll have to get new wood in here for the wheel well, and it's, you know, we're looking at new wood everywhere. So that's all stuff that's going to be done, replaced. We'll get that taken care of. This not really doing much. Not really doing much. You can see it's very wobbly. So let's pop in right quick. You have to be careful on some of these old rigs. You know, this first step, not a whole lot there anymore. We have this door kind of removed. It's not really hanging on to much, unfortunately, right now. We do have to make sure that whenever we have it stored, because this is Florida, it rains a lot, we have to make sure these big openings are taken care of and are closed up. So let's get in here, skip that first step. A lot of this has been done already. Like I said, we're a bit late on the game here, so you can see we had a lot of wood rot up here. Pardon the mess, kind of a very nice little workbench up there, but a lot of this has been replaced. So we've gone through and took out all the rotten wood, made new joists up here. That's been in and of itself fairly difficult, but we've gotten it taken care of. So that's all stuff that that's been done already. And just, you know, as a FYI, for anyone who may be planning on doing something similar, you're going to want to support the roof. You don't want this collapsing on you. So this is how we've done it. We have a nice joist. This was from the backyard. I checked it for termites. I didn't see any. So we have that going across. Made sure that a lot of the trusses are met here, and just cut some plywood, or not plywood, but some 2x4s there. And this is holding the roof very well. So a lot of this is being held up very well right now. As far as everything that's still original, if you're interested, basically this entire side over here is still original. This side that we're working on was the worst side, so this is what we're starting with. I figure if you can do the worst first, and you can get through that, you can get through anything, right? So we'll get all that done. A lot of this at the present moment is, you know, it's a little wobbly. We have a lot of the structure taken out currently, so a lot of it's quite wobbly. Original windows still, so those are in, and yeah, we're just working away. So this piece of plywood, if anyone is interested, it's connected to the cars, to the cab. It's connected to the cab here in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots. So all those go directly into the cab. I tried to match them up to the original holes as best as possible. These screws here, I've used deck screws for 1 strength, 2, since the deck screws are going to hold up to moisture and humidity the best, you're not going to have to worry about them rusting out like that little guy's all rusted. I should have replaced it. There's still time, don't worry. So we can get these taken care of, you know, and that's actually the supports for what our bed is going to come into. So you can see in there, there's, wait for that to focus, there we go, there's a couple pieces of wood in there for the bed to attach onto. Kind of push that back, put a screw right there. So we'll get that attached, and yeah, it's been a lot of work so far. Now, one of the things I will say that you're going to want to do for anybody that's replacing bed, over cab, anything like that, what you're going to want to do, and this is something I neglected to do, you're going to want to attach this bed to this wall. So you're going to want to attach these. I'm going to address that before I get everything buttoned up. So I am going to toss in a little piece of stripping here. We'll get some pocket holes drilled into the bed itself, probably fill them in with something. And we'll get this sucked up a bit. We have a lot of gap still, so that'll be kind of the job of the filler piece. So we'll get a little furring strip or what have you in there, and then we'll just suck it up. So we'll do that on both sides just to make sure it's taken care of. The front is actually held to the fiberglass. So the front's held to the fiberglass, right, with that strip there. So that strip along the bottom does 2 jobs. 1, holds the front of the bed, and 2, it covers where the fiberglass and the outside aluminum shell connects. So that's all stuff to take note of. While we have it apart, it's kind of nice to show you so you can see how things are done. You'll notice, one of the big things you'll notice now that I'm looking at it, we are 100% lacking the front window. This is something that was done prior to us purchasing the vehicle, so we did not do this. Somebody else did this. It was done much more poorly than it currently is. So we've gone through and, you know, added in some framing. It's quite good. There's still just up here, we're gonna cut some pieces to attach from here to here and get that, make sure it's all taken care of and fixed well. It'll get some of this space out, so it won't do that as much once we get some pieces in there. One of the fun things too that we did have to take care of, this originally when we purchased the unit, It was like a 19 by 14 or like 21 by 14, something like that. You can't really buy it anymore that size, and plus the one that came out was it was just destroyed. It was not good. So I did have to do a patch right there. So that's been patched. That's an aluminum patch. I've got it all sealed up on the outside with a little bit of roof tape, kind of turn them on sort of thing. Gonna go through and cover it with some lap sealant just to make sure that it's all taken care of. That guy's been installed. Clearly still need to hook it up. I don't have a house battery, so it doesn't make sense to do right now when I've got other stuff going on. See here, yeah, and we still have all this taken care of. Well, it's still installed, not yet taken care of. We'll get that down. It's quite easy. Currently very functional holder for things, so you can tell if you're interested in how to take these down. There is screws. See, you should be able to see those holes. Screws up in there. So there's screws in each one of these doors. So you remove those screws up there. So there should be 2, 4, 6, and get those out. Shouldn't be any screws that attach it to the back wall here. These screws do not take these out. Don't take these out. That holds the whole unit together. You're going to be very upset if you remove those. So you remove those on top. This guy right here, see how it wiggle jiggles? Yeah, you can lift that up. Probably gross in there, but see that little piece at the back? Camera won't focus, but that little piece at the back is going to have these screws that mount to the wall. So you get those out. I think there's about 6, maybe 8. You get those out, get the ones that are vertical out, and then that whole unit's going to come down from the wall. So very simple, you know, everything's kind of stuck together with some screws and a lot of staples. There's a lot of staples in here. So that's what we've been working on. We'll try to continue to chronicle, and we will try to make sure that we chronicle everything and anything that comes up strange. One thing I do want to point out, and you might have seen this and thinking, what the heck is going on there? So this, why did I do that? Well, that is adding some structure in here. This, of course, a very important structural component to the entire side here. We've tied it into the original wood. This wood is good, no reason to replace it. Tied it in here, thought let's add some structure. Put this guy right in here, pocket holes, just to connect it up, and it makes it nice and strong. A lot of these actually probably will benefit from the same treatment, so we can probably do that in several spots. You know, maybe we can do it down here, maybe up here where the window meets, all those kind of things. So that way you can kind of just give it a little bit more rigidity in the structure. And if you use a small, nice little piece, I mean, you're not going to add that much weight, right? So that's all stuff that we've been doing. One hint while we're kind of going through, and I can kind of cover a lot since we've gone through and done a lot here. One hint, you know, these come out of the roof. I haven't taken this part off yet, but one hint, while you're removing wires, take those suckers off, put a little painter's tape flag on them, give it a number. This one's 1, so as you can see, that one's 1, this one's 2, so that way you know where they connect. I think this one's a 3, so if it'll ever focus, you might see it, who knows. And then you can kind of know where it all goes. These ones here were all connected. And they just go through, they just went through there and then to nowhere. So that's interesting. But at least we know we have this side all 1, 2, 3. So we know how those all connect. And then we'll have to ensure that we get them connected back up. Some of these are going to go to the water pump. Some of them are going to go to the other lights, things like that. And I don't know why whoever did what they did. Somebody was in here before and they decided that they were going to cut them all and then resplice them. So that's fun. I get the joy of doing that again. And yeah, so that's where we're at. If there's any questions, put them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to help to the best of my ability. And we're going to have fun. So, wonderful. Thank you for watching.